Yeah, so it's been a couple months since I made a video. Do yourself a favor and never get like inner ear problems. Like, good God, like, what an awful affliction that is. Like, if you've wondered why my videos have been so like sparse over the past year, that's why. I mean, seriously, like, whenever I lay my head down, like on my left side, like I start getting all these like weird symptoms, like just like anxiety and like nausea, and like it feels like somebody's like putting a match out on my skin somewhere. At one point, I even had something called diplocusis, which is where you hear like two different pitches, like in each of your ears. So it kind of sounds like everybody's like a robot when they talk. Yeah, it's as awful as it sounds. And I've had sort of like autoimmune type symptoms since I was about 15 years old, and I actually made them go away for a while, but then it came back after this cold that I had last year, and like I kind of wonder, like, did I have it? Like, was that it? Like, I kind of think that I did, because it's just been nothing but weird symptoms since then. But yeah, I think I finally figured that out. So I'm feeling much better now. Yeah, but what have I been doing lately? I don't really do that much. So there's not really much of an update I can give other than like, I was out door dashing. Like, I think the most excitement I get out of life, is like when I'm not paying attention at like a light and somebody like beeps behind me, and it's like, oh wow, 3 car lengths of open space in front of me. How long have I been blocking traffic? I do kind of have a couple ideas for videos that I want to do, like a video where like I go on a date or something. But I'm not even sure how I would like go about filming something like that, or like even getting someone to like agree to it, because I kind of feel like I would have to be upfront about the whole thing. I mean, it's funny, like that's probably like the only way like I could even honestly go on a date. Like, I've kind of painted myself into a corner here. Like, what am I going to do? Withhold the fact that I have no experience and that, like, I also run this channel? Like, I think making it into a video, like, might literally be my only option as far as, like, ever going on a date. Without inevitably having to have a weird conversation like, I run this YouTube channel. And I mean, if I'm really being honest with myself, like, I'm not even sure, like, a date is something that I would, like, even desire to do if I were, like, part of normal society. Like, does anybody really even enjoy doing that? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I still think it would make for a fun video, though, so I think I'll probably get to doing that at some point. Yeah, I've also got this long-term project that I'm working on, where like I'm achieving my dream body/health, and then I'm gonna like write a book about it and like make a video about it, because I've seriously like ended up in like no man's land in regard to like diet and health stuff, mainly because I've been like vaguely ill for the past 20 years, and over the past 5 or so, like I've been just desperately trying to figure out how to make that stop. And these things that I figured out, like, if I told you about it, like, you might think that I've lost my mind. And to be fair, like, I may have completely lost my marbles. I mean, I've alluded to this stuff in other videos, but, like, this is stuff that you would just never would imagine would have, like, a dramatic impact on your health. Like, I seriously think I might have been, like, the first one to discover a couple of these things. And, I mean, it goes beyond just, like, diet and stuff. And I think it would be worth putting in a book. So, but I have to have proof that it's working, and proof would be getting my like ideal body. So that's what I've been doing lately. I don't really want to be like ripped or like overly muscular, because like I kind of feel like that's not really a natural look. Like I've always felt like the ideal human form would be more like svelte, like a Messiah warrior, or like Link from Breath of the Wild, like how you'd look if you only ate what was available to you in nature as like a hunter-gatherer, and like behaved like one as well. Because I don't think any cavemen were like pumping iron. People might call that skinny, but I just think that's how we'd look if like civilization and ice cream didn't exist. Honestly, like I kind of just want to look like a surfer. Maybe because I've been listening to the Beach Boys a lot lately. I don't know, they just look so free and uncaring, Like, it would be a dream come true for me to be like confident enough in my body to sort of like go on the beach without a shirt on. Like, I haven't been to a pool or like the beach since I was like 12, because I've always felt like my body was an abomination. And I think in a few months' time I'll be there. So stay tuned for that, I guess. Obviously I'll make a video about that, when I get there. I was also thinking about doing like a YouTube stream, like, playing some Zelda randomizer or something like that. So, maybe sometime soon. Yeah, but other than that, like, I don't know. I was watching Dragon Ball Z like 2 weeks ago or something. And, I know I have like pleb anime tastes or whatever, but, I really do just love that show. But, they were at the part where Gohan is teaching Videl how to fly. And, it just sort of brought up that whole, like, TFW, you will never experience young love. And, I know that's, like, whiny or whatever, but, like, God, I would have loved to do something like that when I was younger. And, it's easy for me to put myself in Gohan's shoes because, it's like I see myself in him. But it's just like, oh, man, would have loved to have a moment like that. Like, that whole scene is just so, like, adorable, I mean, it's more than that, though, Like, in Dragon Ball Z, like, you sort of know Gohan as a kid first. But, like, now you're watching him grow up. And it's just like, God, like, here he is crossing this boundary in life that I've never crossed. I'm so jealous. Why didn't I get to do this when I was younger? Like, Gohan probably played Super Metroid when he was a kid. But, now he's old enough to have a GF. Like, I just get this sense sometimes, like I'm missing something, like, really important. Like, oh, you think Super Metroid's cool? Wait till you see this. Like, life never really blew me away in that way. It seemed insistent that I just go straight to middle age. I mean, do moments like that even exist, or are they just like fantasy? Like, I know people can't fly, but, do those sort of like romantic moments actually occur between people? They have to. I don't want to live in a world where they don't. Yeah, and don't tell me that they're not all they're cracked up to be either, because that's a lie. Yeah, I just want to experience a moment like that, Like, I feel like most people get to experience moments like that. Yeah, I think this feeling is like, it's one of the reasons why I've always sort of felt like a strong connection to romantic era music. Like, there's sort of an idea in music from that time period of like sort of bravely crossing over into a new world, like, like a leap of faith. Like, those romantic paintings, like, they always have boats like sailing off into the sunset. But, it's not even so much the feeling that you're crossing over. It's more the feeling of just sort of like watching everybody else cross over while you got like stranded behind, Like, in those paintings, there's always like a boat off to the side that like just capsized before it ever had the chance. Like, don't worry about me, guys. Wasn't in the cards for me. Save yourselves. Wasn't meant to be. Just let me die here. It's the same sort of feeling I get from the Beach Boys. Like, the perspective of the songs don't feel so much like true stories from Brian Wilson's life. It feels more like he's like looking at couples, like wishing that it was him. And he's thinking like, wouldn't it be nice to feel like a human being instead of a lonely reject? It's just a wishful fantasy, It's not autobiographical. Yeah, I used to get so emo about this that, like, I started reading Hey Arnold fan fiction, because, the whole romance between Arnold and Helga was just so, like, adorable to me. And, like, oh, God, I would have just loved to experience something like that when I was younger, Like, I used to just, like, lay in bed at, like, 3 in the morning, like, eating pizza rolls and just reading Hey Arnold fan fiction. And, getting all emo about it because it wasn't me. And, it's weird because, like, the emo mood is just never permanent. Like, sometimes it's there and other times it's like, God, I don't even care. What the hell was I thinking? Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the past, actually. Like, recently I was thinking about this moment. Like, I was at the gym with my brother and my brother's friend, who were both, like, 2 years older than me. Which, that's a lot when you're, like, 13 years old. But my brother's friend also brought his brother, who was my age. And yeah, I just remember feeling like so like cringed out by the situation for some reason. Because like I literally didn't say a word to him like the entire time that we were there. Like, even though we were working out together and stuff. Like, I think part of me was just so embarrassed. Like, God, we can both see right through this situation, can't we? Like, oh, we're supposed to be buddy-buddy now because, we're close in age and our brothers are friends. Like, in my mind, like, if I even said to him, like, hey, so you want me to spot you? Like, he would have been startled by it, and it would have made him think something like, oh, God, is he actually doing this right now? Like, why couldn't we have just continued to be awkwardly silent so, we could just get through this horrible predicament as smoothly as possible? Like, I just kind of feel so, like, embarrassed about the idea of, like, having friends, Like, I remember my mom used to say to me, like, so why don't you go out and try to hook up with some people? Hook up as in, like, make friends, not like, make out. But the idea just, it, like, puts a knot in my stomach, though. Like, my mom wants me to make friends? Like, to me, my mom might as well have been saying to me, like, hey, so why don't you go to the adult video store and buy a movie? Like, that's just how my brain, like, interprets that situation for some reason. Like, there's something shameful about it to me. Like, I always sort of get this image of, like, a water buffalo or something, like, trying to get a drink out of a pond, like, nervously looking around for lions. Like, just the feeling of vulnerability, Like, I think my brain sort of uses the shame thing as, like, a defense mechanism, like, against making myself vulnerable in that way. Like, oh, this is so stupid. You should be ashamed of yourself for trying to connect with other human beings. I'm too cool for this nonsense. It's like Frank Zappa, actually. Like, his music always felt like a parody or, like, satire to me. And he's technically gifted at guitar and all of that, and he's definitely like iconic in his own right. But there's not much in the way of like vulnerability in his music. Like it feels like he's just kind of like hiding behind sarcasm. And that's not to say that there isn't like utility in that, but you can't have it both ways. You're either an artist or a critic. You can't be both at once. What Frank Zappa does, in my opinion, is like it's fundamentally different from what the Beach Boys do. Like to me, they're almost opposites, But it's, my brain, when it comes to like connecting with people, like it feels like it's stuck in Frank Zappa mode. Like, it's just like never-ending scrutiny. This is so stupid. People don't actually want to connect with each other. They're just pretending that they do. People are only couples because, it's some societal tradition that they're following, and, they don't even know why. You only want connection because you see everybody else doing it, and, you're jealous and curious. If you never knew it existed, you wouldn't even care. I'm too cool for this stupid nonsense. Yeah, but am I still, like, forever alone? Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, I actually don't even have online friends anymore. Except for you guys. You're all friends. But, you know what I mean. Like people that I talk to regularly. As far as me being like a virgin or whatever, I think I should clear up that I do have a couple of like experiences that I don't count for various reasons. That I had my reasons for omitting in the first video. And, I know that's vague, but just know that I am like still a virgin, like technically and more importantly, like emotionally. Honestly, though, like that's not even like a source of insecurity for me. Like people always say like, oh, just be confident, bro. But like honestly, like I don't even think I lack confidence. I'm on here right now telling like a not unsubstantial amount of people that I used to read Hey Arnold fan fiction. That's pretty bold, isn't it? Like I don't even know what the issue is. Like it's got to be some like weird subconscious way that I'm framing reality or something. Like, some kind of malware from my past that never got removed. Like, the idea that I'm like not meant to have like friends or a girlfriend, that I'm meant for something different than that. Like, that just got planted in my head sometime in the past, and like I have no idea how to get that idea out of my head. Or, even if I should get that idea out of my head, like, maybe I am meant for a different purpose than that. But, until I figure out like what's going on with that, I think I'm just going to perpetually keep being 13 years old in that respect. But don't get too hung up on that. Like, I think my number one issue probably for the past year has just been to get like my inner ear problem solved, because it's like all I ever think about. Like 95% of my thoughts are about my stupid ear. Like I can totally see how like a nagging health issue can just like absolutely wreck someone and like take them out of the game permanently, like if they don't solve it, because you just can't not think about it. Like I've been thinking about this for a year straight. I think I finally fixed it though. Like I'm actually pretty certain that I have. I'm on the road to recovery, and I kind of think that once I solve this, once I have nothing hindering me anymore, then, all the other fun stuff will sort of like fall into place. Because I kind of have a hunch that these like vague health issues are like one of the big reasons for why I like ended up in the position that I'm in. I might make a video about that in the future. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching.